I think this game is the best Metroidvania since Symphony of the Night.
Non Apologetic
Nonsense.
I think I've played every good Metroidvania there is. It's the only reason I own a Switch. It's not really good for anything else, right? So it's just become a Metroidvania player for me. And ever since Blasphemous 1 was done and they announced Blasphemous 2, I have been waiting. This game is everything you could want from a Metroidvania. For one, it leans extremely heavily on its Dark Souls influence, and to me, that's great. There just couldn't be anything better. But from the progression to the upgrades to the stories to the NPCs, hell, even the way they put all these different map markers in, where when you do find something that you don't have the ability to get past right now, you can go ahead and just mark that on your map. By the time I had the ability to ring the damn bells, I had every single one of them marked around my map. This game was a master class of what Metroidvania should be. Oh, I think we're forgetting something before we dive too deep into this.
Time for a review. Could be old products or they could be brand new.
I'm singing this one's praises. I'm talking right off the bat, we're giving this thing a 9 out of 10. We're not even gonna wait to rate it. I even took some screenshots. It's the atmosphere of the game, right? It's this crazy dark game. Like NPCs, for example. Check out this NPC right here. This is a woman who tells you she wants you to find and exterminate the candles or the life of her daughters. As you find each one and exterminate them, you go back to this woman and she rewards you for taking care of her daughters. This woman you find at the beginning of the game, she got 26 arms and she's hugging her child. Why is she hugging her child? I don't know. Seems to be a caring mother. But if you find all the pieces for the item to soothe her child, once again you're rewarded. And we got Titty Boy here. You can tell by the look on my character's face, I'm looking right down the eyeball of that nipple thinking, what in the absolute fuck is happening? But this man is attempting to breastfeed a child. He wants you to go get some wax seeds. When you get the wax seeds, it grows maidens. Maidens take care of the babies, so this guy can just fuck off into wherever he goes with his giant double D breast. This is how you upgrade your health. You give a blood sacrifice to this freaking demon, and every time you come back, a little more of the exalted flesh is pulled back. It was pretty straightforward. I didn't need any help. I didn't need a guide. I thought the difficulty, it's a difficult game. Let's not play any nonsense. I want to let you know it is very difficult. However, I do think the difficulty is fair. I don't think it gets dirty until the very last level. I would consider this game in difficulty like a 7, maybe even a 6, because you never really get stuck at a boss. But when you enter the last couple bosses, the last area, it jumps from a 1 to a 10. So that makes it from what, 7 to a 17? They even had a double boss fight, which was this Bazooka Joe looking fella. And then this little child who shoots little spikes at you, she shows up, and then you do the 2-on-1 boss fight, which is obviously a nod to, I never knew how you pronounce it, Ornstein and Smo from the original Dark Souls. At least that's the vibe I got from it, and I mean, I'm here for it. And everything was all goody-goody until I got to this son of a gun right here. I had to play this boss fight 23 times. I don't know. It was endless, and this is right at the end of the game. And lots of times I get what I call final boss fatigue. So you know you're at the end of the game. All the context clues are there, so you don't really want to grind out the boss because you know there's nothing after it. Whereas if this boss would have been in the middle of the game, would have been no problem to grind this guy out. Nonetheless, I did it because I wanted to see the end of the game. This is just a nod to Dark Souls. It's a nod to Symphony of the Night, and it's top 10 Metroidvania. And I mean, it's a damn good game, even if we're including everything else. Because I've always been torn between my love for Souls-likes and my love for Metroidvanias, you know. Anything like everyone probably knows Hollow Knight, for example. That's a great Metroidvania. But there's so many other games in there, like, what was it called? Bloodstained a couple years ago, which was made by the same guy who did make Symphony of the Night. It's like a modern day one. Now, the only reason I say this thing's a 9 out of 10 is one annoying thing that kept happening. You take damage when you touch an enemy. Right? It's not just when they hit you. So if you touch an enemy, you take damage. And when you take damage, you have fallback. So you get hit, you fly back into an animation. You can't move until you touch the ground. So let's say one enemy hits you and you're flying back where you have no control, and then you hit another enemy, you get stunned, you come up, you're still touching that enemy, you get stunned, boom, 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 you're just stun locked till death. I think I died more times from being stun locked than I did from an actual earned death. But if you're on the fence, even the price, I think the price is like $30. The price couldn't be better. This is a 9 out of 10. Go out and get it.
Non Apologetic
Nonsense.